Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke, together with Rev Yutaka Yamada. Today is Thursday, the 12th of June 2025, or the 17th of May in the 13th year of Chongalguk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chanji Champuninge, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가존맨세 이 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 전주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love.
Thank you. I'd like to share this morning Mother's prayer at the New Year's benediction given in the 10th of February 2013. Beloved Heavenly Parent, we have now ushered in the new year 2013. We are deeply grateful to you for allowing the heavenly world and the earthly world to unite as one in mind and heart and solemnly begin this first day of the year in which we will celebrate the foundation day of Chongalguk in the presence of the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Our Heavenly Parent, what a history of sorrow and grief you have had to go through to establish Chongalguk, to complete the history of the providence of restoration through indemnity caused by the fall of the first human ancestors. You have had to lead the providence of salvation and have your heart rent by each and every one of the sacrifices and mistakes made by the providential central figures whom you established. How many tears of blood you have wept in the background of such history. In particular, ever since the coronation ceremony of the kingship of God was performed and Chongalguk declared in 2001 on the foundation of True Parents' victorious realm, during the last 12 years we have lived each day as if it were 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as if it were a day, begrudging every moment that passed and exerting ourselves to the utmost. The era after the coming of heaven was proclaimed, and Chongjonggun was built on earth and dedicated to you, thus establishing on the rock of ages the ground whereupon the Heavenly Parent could come to settle on earth. And in the presence of all of heaven and earth, enthronement and coronation ceremonies were performed through which the Heavenly Parent was liberated and freed. Most beloved Heavenly Parent, with Foundation Day only 12 days away, we should repent with all our heart for all the responsibilities we have failed to fulfill until now. The true family and the blessed family should become one under the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, and prepare a new environment in which we can give ourselves as living offerings for Chongalguk in the realm of Shimjong, which is characterized by one heart, one body, one mindset, and one harmony. I declare that all members of the unification family across the world are resolving to become one with True Parents' will and to fulfill their mission as tribal messiahs at all costs, and to make a new beginning. As we usher in the first year of Chongalguk in 2013, I hope and pray that the entire worldwide unification family and all peoples will open the gates to an amazing new era of peace and prosperity, in which the physical and spiritual worlds will overflow with heavenly blessings and the Heavenly Parents' great love. All this we offer and request in the name of the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning.
That okay? Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning Hondoke. Today also we will begin the new day. Let's put our chest on the heart and begin the day. So just continue our Hundok. The body of three parents in heaven's providence. And now we are sharing about chapter 4, the body of three parents, three mother, the only begotten daughter born for the first time after 6,000 years. So today's this part is the last part of chapter 4. Then we also continue to go to chapter 5. So let's start together. Mrs. Na, please.
The realm of heart of true mother, the only begotten daughter, coming for the first time. True mother, the only begotten daughter, naturally experienced and felt heavenly parents' hope, circumstances, and world of heart from birth without anyone telling her, and she grew up while experiencing them deeply. True mother knew the solemn fact that she was born as the only begotten daughter for the completion of heaven's providence, and that in order for her to fulfill her responsibility, she absolutely must find the man who would be her counterpart for that providence.
Yes, thank you. So the realm of heart of true mother. So it's important to understand the realm of heart. When true mother grew up from the childhood, the moment she received the heaven's guidance, and so she passed through many kind of circumstances or situation. So in each moment, what kind of realm of heart did she have? So we should seek those heart, please.
Heavenly Parent had already determined the date for the holy wedding in 1960. True Mother understood the essence of heaven's providence. As the date of the holy wedding approached, although it was not easy for her to take on the responsibility alone at the young age of 17, she knew, without me, Heavenly Parent has no one to rely on. True Mother, feeling Heavenly Parent's heart, asking her, please help me, made her own judgment and determination, declaring, I will do it, and decided to participate in the holy wedding.
Yes, so there was holy wedding ceremony at the 17 years old time. And there is the ideal of true parents. So she determined to offer everything in front of heavenly parent and determined to fulfill the heaven's will and heaven's wish. So we could recognize she had sincere, the filial daughter's heart, and to start it the way of true parents. Please.
Understanding the desperate circumstances in which the holy wedding, the date for which Heavenly Parent had already set, could not be delayed any further, True Mother steeled herself, saying, I will give up everything. I will think only of Heavenly Parent. Since she knew the only begotten daughter could not complete heaven's providence alone, she advanced to the position of the true parents with the determination, I will take responsibility. Through the advent of True Parents in 1960, many blessed families have come into being.
Yes, thank you. So the ideal of true parents, or becoming true parents, does not happen by herself alone or by one person alone. So I believe many of you or many of us received the blessing already. So we can feel this heart. When we apply the blessing, already heaven prepared the person, but we don't know who will be the person to receive blessing together. True mother recognize she should become the true parents. She should receive the holy wedding ceremony, even she didn't know who he is, but she offered everything, and she decided to go to the place of the holy wedding ceremony. So we can see from her determination, or from that moment, the history of blessing has been studied. Please.
In 1960, True Parents held their holy wedding in a humble church hall with a few modest decorations, and they pledged before Heavenly Parent to work day and night for world peace and the prosperity of humankind unto the end of their lives. They remembered the pledge they made that day as vividly as if it were yesterday. True Mother never forgot for a moment the determination she made before Heavenly Parent at the holy wedding in 1960.
Yes. So this is this place is the original headquarter in Champadan. So at the holy wedding moment, we heard there are many persecution and also distraction to stop this holy wedding ceremony. But at that moment, True Mother stood clearly in front of heaven and to receive or attended the holy wedding ceremony. Please.
When bidding farewell to True Father before his holy body as he ascended to the heavenly realm on September 14, 2012, True Mother renewed her determination with these words: Father, you are now safely arriving in the heavenly Chonsong Gung. I will settle Chonongkuk on this earth before the end of my life. I know that Heavenly Father will help us. Please do not worry.
Yes. So after holy wedding, she spent time together with True Father, and finally 2012, True Father went to the spiritual world. So during that moment, she spent the whole life together with Father with heavenly providence or heaven's wish in order to fulfill the things. But Father went to the spiritual world area. So what's happened? Even Father went to the spiritual world, but this heaven's providence was not concluded yet. That's why Mother also offered this determination even to True Father and continue to go this path. Please.
True Mother has continued forward without pause as she works to fulfill Heavenly Parent's dream before the end of her earthly life. As True Mother, the only begotten daughter, continued her unceasing progress, it was only Heavenly Parent who was her pillar of fire and pillar of cloud. She could endure and overcome such circumstances only due to Heavenly Parent's protection. Heavenly Parent silently wept seeing True Mother when she wanted to give up because it was too difficult. And True Mother pressed forward for Heavenly Parent because she knew too well Heavenly Parent's hope, circumstances, and heart, as expressed in those silent tears.
Yes. So the relationship between Heavenly Parent and True Mother. In this beautiful relationship, True Mother is continuously sinking and try to comfort our Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent also always is leading, guiding, and protecting through Mother, and they overcame all the circumstances and situation. Please.
True Mother had pledged countless times to see the completion of the providence in her lifetime, no matter how difficult the path. Having lived her entire life with an unwavering heart to fulfill this determination, she continues to work hard at the forefront of the providence even now. The blessed families have not yet been able to fully understand the inner heart of True Mother, the only begotten daughter. True Mother hopes that the blessed families, as the chosen people, will become the sons and daughters of heaven, whom True Father can greet saying, "Ha, you've come, welcome," when they go to the spirit world after fulfilling their God-given responsibilities during their time on earth.
Thank you. So this word is for blessed family. I will read this part. The blessed families have not yet been able to fully understand the inner heart of True Mother, the only begotten daughter. True Mother hopes that the blessed families, as the chosen people, will become the sons and daughters of heaven, whom True Father can greet, saying, "Ah, you've come, welcome," when they go to the spirit world after fulfilling their God-given responsibilities during their time on earth. So everyone will go to the spiritual world. And when we go to the spiritual world, we will meet our true Father there. Then what kind of attitude, what kind of things do we report, share, and talk to our true Father? So our true Mother also mentioned several times, when I go to the spiritual world, how can I meet the true Father? Ourselves is also, we are also same. That's why during earthly lifetime, how we can fulfill heaven's will, responsibility, and expectation. Among even our blessed families, still some people could not understand about True Mother's nature or essence of True Mother's yet. Then if we go to spiritual world, what we will talk with our true Father. So where is heaven's will? Where is our true parents' wish? How much heavenly parents are wishing the appearance or emergence of true parents on this earth, and also emergence of the only begotten daughter. So true Mother understood all the situation, but carry on everything and to go forward. So we are, as the blessed family, second gen or third gen or children of God, we should understand the heart of heaven and heart of our true Mother, and also the offer the victory. So until this part is a chapter 4 talking about the true Mother. So we can seek and understand more deeply about heart of our true Mother, or realm of heart of true Mother. Okay, so let's continue the next part. This is chapter 5, True Father, the returning Messiah who inherited the mission of Jesus. Okay, please.
The only begotten Son, Jesus, and the returning Messiah's core. The providential relationship between Jesus and True Father. Heavenly Parent's providence is to realize the original ideal of creation with True Parents at the center. The providence of Heavenly Parents sending the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter is a providence of new creation to accomplish the ideal of creation which has never been realized. This providence of new creation proceeds according to the original principle of creation.
Yes, thank you. So now we are studying about Champmoron, the body of true parents in heaven's providence. So actually, when we see about the Champumoron and the divine principle, there was not so much big differences, but there is key point, key core point which are different. So we should clearly understand the differences and core point between the body of three parents or Champumoron and also divine principle. Please.
To achieve the ideal of creation, Heavenly Parent newly creates one man and one woman as new ancestors of humankind in Heavenly Parent's lineage and conducts the providence so that they become true parents and give rebirth to fallen people as Heavenly Parents' sons and daughters, establishing the ideal world of creation. The one man and one woman of original creation, whom Heavenly Parent newly creates as the ancestors of humankind, are the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. Through the holy wedding, they become the true parents who have completed Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation. True parents are the messiahs and saviors who give rebirth to fallen humankind as Heavenly Parents' sons and daughters through the marriage blessing.
Yes, thank you. This is the overall flow of the heavenly providence, and this is the core point of Champumoron, the value of the three parents in heaven's providence. So maybe I will say once again, what's the heavenly providence? Heavenly parent try to fulfill the ideal of creation through only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. But it was not fulfilled in the Garden of Eden, so Heavenly Parent tried to send again. That was Jesus Christ, and also through Mother, second Adam the Messiah, and the emergence of true parents. So this is the overall flow and the contents of our the Champumoron. So when we see about divine principle, in the beginning part and ending part are not so much clear. That's why rearranging this all contents will be arranged, centering on Champumoron, the body of true parents. So we can see the starting point, God's dream, and the completion is also same, our God's dream, Heavenly Parents' dream, centering on true parents. Please.
In the beginning, God, our Heavenly Parent, created man and woman in the image of God, with the hope that they would grow to maturity and through their holy wedding become the true parents. And similarly, 2,000 years ago, Heavenly Parent hoped to send the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter among the people of Israel. Jesus was conceived and born as Heavenly Parent's only begotten Son. However, because Mary, who gave birth to Jesus, Zachariah's family, the religious leaders, and the people did not believe in Jesus, the birth of the only begotten daughter was thwarted, and Jesus went to the cross.
Yes, this is the heaven's wish. This was the providence to fulfill through Jesus Christ. But at that moment, he could not meet the only begotten daughter, and he went the course of crucifixion. Please. Mrs. Na?
Oh, sorry. Zachariah's family and Mary were the very ones who conceived and gave birth to Jesus in accordance with the revelation they received from God. Therefore, from the time Jesus was born, they should have believed in, protected, and attended him as God's Son. Above all, they should have worked together to create the environment for the birth of the only begotten daughter, so that Jesus could walk the path of true parents. And when the true parents began unfolding the providence of salvation, they should have led the way to the way in attendance of heaven, and guided the Jewish people to true parents. However, the people instead could not believe in Jesus as God's Son and blocked Jesus' path to reaching the position of the true parents.
Yes, then what kind of responsibility and the role there with Zachariah's family and Mary? So I will read this paragraph again. Zachariah's family and Mary were the very ones who conceived and gave birth to Jesus in accordance with the revelation they received from God. Therefore, from the time Jesus was born, they should have believed in, protected, and attended him as God's Son. Above all, they should have worked together to create the environment for the birth of the only begotten daughter, so that Jesus could walk the paths of true parents. And when the true parents began unfolding the providence of salvation, they should have led the way in attendance of heaven and guided the Jewish people to true parents. However, the people instead could not believe in Jesus as God's Son and blocked Jesus' path to reaching the position of the true parents. So we could see they could not fulfill their role and responsibility at that time, and this is the way to block the way of Jesus Christ to be the true parents. Please.
In particular, Mary should have lived a single life and devoted her entire life to supporting Jesus until he reached the position of true parent. However, while Mary lived a family life with Joseph, she became disconnected from the grace and inspiration received from Heavenly Parent and treated Jesus, the only begotten Son, from the viewpoint of fallen humankind. As a result, the religious leaders and the people also came to not believe in Jesus, and Jesus had no choice but to die on the cross without assuming the position of true parent. Because Mary, Zechariah's family, faith leaders, and the people failed in their position of responsibility to believe in and attend Jesus, the only begotten daughter could not be born, and consequently, true parents could not emerge.
Yes. So, what should Mary have done after meeting Zachariah and also conceived the Jesus Christ? This is the point. And because of the lacking or shortcoming of these things, what kind of result happened? It says that because Mary, Zachariah's family, faith leaders, and the people failed in their position of responsibility to believe in and attend Jesus, the only begotten daughter could not be born, and consequently, true parents could not emerge. So, in this place, also true mother is emphasizing the role and responsibility of Zachariah and Mary, and of course, all another the chosen people's part. Please.
Jesus, the only begotten Son, had the responsibility to accede to the position of true parent and fulfill Heavenly Parent's providence of salvation. Therefore, Jesus prophesied to his disciples that when the time came, he would return and hold the marriage supper of the Lamb. This means that the one who would inherit Jesus' mission and become the Messiah at the second coming would attain the position of the true parent through the holy wedding with the only begotten daughter.
Yes. So, what is the heaven's providence and heaven's will centered on Jesus? It is also same to become true parents and to transform all humankind into the children of God. Then how to do? Through the holy wedding ceremony with the only begotten daughter. Please.
For this purpose, Heavenly Parent carried out the providence to establish the true parents by sending the only begotten daughter on the foundation that the chosen Han people of Korea and Korean Christianity had established. For the true parents to appear in history, the only begotten daughter must be born, and Jesus, the only begotten Son, must return. Therefore, the first purpose of Christianity is to wait for and prepare to welcome the birth of the only begotten daughter and to prepare the foundation for Jesus' return and the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Yes. So in the Jesus time, it was not happened. That's why Heavenly Parent prepared another chosen people, the chosen Han people, and the Christianity, and started the new providence. Please.
Then how does Heavenly Parent bring about the return of Jesus, the only begotten Son? Although Jesus died before he was able to complete his mission to become the true Father, he successfully completed his growth to maturity through the growing period as described in the original process of creation. He maintained his identity and essence as the only begotten Son. So the victorious foundation of Jesus' life remains. According to the principles of creation, in the history of humanity, Heavenly Parent creates only one man and one woman as the first ancestors of humankind. Therefore, the return of Jesus does not occur through the birth of another only begotten Son.
Yes, so this is the explanation for the position of only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. So this part I will read. That Jesus successfully completed his growth to maturity through the growing period as described in the original process of creation. He maintained his identity and essence as the only begotten Son, so the victorious foundation of Jesus' life remains. So that meaning is the returning of Jesus does not occur through the birth of another only begotten Son. So we can see these differences. Please.
When he fell, Adam lost his qualification to be the only begotten Son. However, the only begotten Son, Jesus, who died on the cross, maintained the victorious foundation he had achieved through his 33 years of life on earth. Therefore, no other only begotten Son will be born after Jesus. Instead, the completion of Jesus' mission is accomplished through the one who inherits his foundation of victory. The one who inherits Jesus' mission and victorious foundation attains the position of true parent by fulfilling the remainder of the responsibility that Jesus, the only begotten Son, should have accomplished during his lifetime.
Yes, so instead of the new only begotten Son born, this mission would be inherited to the person who are ready and to carry on the mission of the Jesus Christ and only begotten Son. So this is the final slide, please.
In other words, the Messiah at the second coming is the one who inherits the victorious foundation established by Jesus and completes Jesus' mission to accede to the position of true parents. Therefore, the one who inherited Jesus' mission must complete the ideal of true parents, which was both Jesus' hope and mission, by participating in the holy wedding with the only begotten daughter.
Yes, thank you. So the mission of Jesus Christ would be inherited. Then what is this? This mission is to meet the only begotten daughter and to attend the holy wedding ceremony. And as the true parents, they will fulfill the transformation of all humanity to children of God. So completion of ideal of true parents and fulfillment of heavenly parent dream. So today we share about chapter 4, about true mother, and also beginning part of chapter 5, talking about the second Adam of the Messiah. So those contents we are almost studying moment and learning many things, but through the things we can seek the realm of heart and also circumstances and also connect with our heavenly parent and true parents. So each moment or content, kind of the historical study, but continuously study well, pray well, and inherit the heart. So today is also the many things is waiting for us. Let's put our great heart and create the beautiful moment and share the happiness to our brothers and sisters. So thank you for joining. Once again for joining Morning from the K. Have a great time. 감사합니다.
Kamnida, thank you very much, Rev Yutaka, for sharing the reading with us, and so we can reflect very clearly on the position of only begotten daughter, and something that stood out for me is that mother felt God's heart, and circumstances and providence, from birth. She didn't need to be told. She could directly feel God's heart every moment, and that's really an amazing thing. And also confirmation of the fact that she's the only begotten daughter, because she has a direct relationship that's unbroken and continuous, and because she knew God's heart, and she knew her position as the only begotten daughter as well from the very beginning. She knew that the only way to succeed was to participate in the holy wedding, that she accepted her responsibility and determined to succeed in her responsibility, and continues to succeed in her responsibility. Yeah, unlike fallen humanity, who becomes aware of responsibility, does it for a portion of time and then stops. And so we're continually needing to be reconnected or determined to carry out our responsibility. But True Mother continually felt God's heart and resolved to fulfill God's will, and she never forgot her pledge to Heavenly Parent and her determination, and so she just continued forward without pause. And that's something that we need to learn, to move forward without pausing, without doubting or whatever external circumstance that gets in the way of us fulfilling or continuing with our responsibility. Because mother's desire is to fulfill Heavenly Parent's dream, and she knows that she's the core of that. Without her, it doesn't happen. Without her, there is no holy wedding. And so mother decided to participate in the holy wedding. So she chose her destiny. She knew what God wanted. She knew what the only begotten daughter's role was, and she accepted it and chose it. And so we need to do the same. We need, blessed families need to fully understand, as it said, the inner heart of True Mother, how Mother really was victorious and never ceases in building upon that victory, so it grows greater and greater. So that's really something that stood out for me, and the other thing that stood out for me was that God does not give birth to another only begotten Son. And that's because Jesus already succeeded. He doesn't need another only begotten Son. The Son succeeded. And so, the true Father inherited the mission of Jesus and just continued where Jesus left off, and was given the amazing grace of being able to stand as true parents. And so you need to understand how much Jesus and Father are one, because Jesus and Father, he's inherited his mission. So in some respects, when we look at Father, we can also see Jesus. And the regret of Jesus is he didn't have a physical body to carry out the marriage of the Lamb, but Father had the physical body and accepted the responsibility, and then was given the grace to become the true parents on the victory of Jesus. And I'm still thinking how much connection and presence is Jesus in Father, because in the Bible we see that John the Baptist was the return of Elijah. So how much was Elijah able to influence John the Baptist? And yeah, so anyway, still thinking on that one. But anyway, that's some of my thoughts this morning. So thank you. And I can see Margaret has her hand up first. So go ahead.
Good morning. I have a small question for Reverend Yamada. You made a statement that the divine principle beginning and ending not so clear, and now it's the mission of Chambum Moro to help. I think is what I heard. If you can just clarify what you mean by that.
Okay. As you know, Divine Principle was written 3 different books. First one was written by True Father, the original Divine Principle. Basically, more kind of the original fundamental things. The second, third one, especially now exposition one, would be centered on the Christianity, and also the target is the audience for basically fallen humanity. In the beginning, everyone will be attain happiness, struggling and attain happiness and avoid misfortune, right? Talking about targeting for more fallen society. And ending part is the second advent of Messiah will come to Korea, then finish. This is the basic divine principle. But what is the original essence of the providence as according to our heavenly parents and true parents? The beginning part is heavenly parents' existence, and also which is the appearance of only begotten son, only begotten daughter, or true parents. So this is the starting moment. Ending part, also fulfillment of the heavenly parents' dream. So contents, anyway, or essence is not totally different because principle is principle, but some several points would be added or emphasized. So this point I just mentioned in the beginning of this session today. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that. In an explanation of the Zachariah story, which is true, is not mentioned clearly in the divine principle. In this reading this morning, it says Zachariah's family and Mary. So I wanted to find out, was that a typo that Zachariah's family and Mary, or was that meant to be Zachariah and Mary, the parents of Jesus Christ? if we are to make Chambumoron clear, that was not explicit in divine principle. I just wanted to, I'm happy to see it, but it says Zachariah family and Mary.
Maybe I have to double check this part. I saw Zachariah family is Zachariah and Elizabeth, maybe including John the Baptist. But anyway, I will check Korean side again. If you wanna know this point more, only Zachariah and Mary, or Zachariah, Elizabeth, John the Baptist, and Mary. This is your question, right?
Right.
Yeah, I will.
Because we have not been, or at least in terms of our divine principle. I mean, for me personally, when I explain to people, I try to bring this question of the birth of Jesus, especially from the Catholic viewpoint. The virgin birth is a big thing, but it doesn't talk about the birth of Jesus as having a father. So I try to deal it in my own way. But if we're gonna have Chambumoron explicitly explaining it, then it should be explained. So then it's easier to explain it to other people. I have already researched into Father's own words on what the role of Zachariah family, and he explicitly explains that it was Mary, Elizabeth, that taught John the Baptist the wrong thing. That's why he didn't understand the position of Jesus. So for me, it goes back to the point of the woman education in the family. Just as we go back to the family of Abraham, the wife of Abraham who kicked out the servant in the family is now still a problem to this day between Jews and Palestinian. So now we're talking about a woman in Zachariah family that did not teach her son properly of the value of Jesus. And we're still dealing with that problem to our day. So if we are to be taught properly, we have to understand how to explain for Christianity, to understand the value of Jesus and how he was not raised properly. Many people relate to the suffering of Jesus, actually, because he was a real human being raised in a family that did not understand him, and he suffered. I mean, this is true father discovery of Jesus' life, and that's why he cried for days and days, understanding just how difficult it was for Jesus. Anyway, just I went on, but just wanted to make that a clear, if you can check. Was that to be an explanation of Zachariah family, or was that indicative of Zachariah and Mary being the birth parents of Jesus?
I think we can see also another explanation, mother's word and father's word. And also it's really necessary to point out Zachariah is father, or just as more briefly talk. So those kind of the way is also, I think, considerable things inside the book. But when we explain to the people how we will explain with another two parents word, is maybe it will be possible, because I think Champaron is really not detailed, doesn't point out so much about the Judas' fairness or all 12 disciples. Really not talking really detailed one by one, because maybe it's not so much mainstream. So we can see when we see also this education contents, which one was the emphasized important point or little bit side things. Anyway, I can check again. Then I can also share again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Kathy, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
I'm a Jesus freak. I love Jesus very, very much. When I was watching one time a TV video of Jesus dying on the cross, I just burst into tears and I asked him, what did you want me to do with my life? And the answer was very, very clear from Jesus: go to the Unification Church before you reach the age of 36. And I did this. And for most of the time, Jesus was with me the whole time until I understood very clearly enough to make me strong in the faith of true parents. And then he came to me and he left me. He had a suitcase and he left me, but he didn't leave me alone. He left somebody with me. And that was Jesus was so, so serious the whole time. But when he left, there was somebody younger and it was a lot more different. And last night, this morning, Jesus was speaking more deeply on the Chonsham 1. And one of the things he said is, do we realize how much True Mother is suffering? Although we may not understand what True Mother is going through, True Father is so busy. And further on, he says, True Mother is the only path you know, the path to go. And why don't you? Walking this path, when you see True Father, you see True Mother. When you see True Mother, you see True Father. Both are saying the same thing. They are not separate at all. And please don't forget this truth. And then he goes on to say, people who believe in Jesus, we are desperate in the spirit world. We will put our 200% effort and cooperate with you. So whenever we're going to speak with Christians or whatever, just call upon Jesus. They're all there really waiting for each one of us. And they do help. I was yesterday with a person and I just prayed about it before I went. And we had a beautiful talk and a deeper understanding. So Spirit World is really, really active and wanting to help us 200%. And when he was speaking yesterday, he was so desperate that we understood True Mother's role very, very clearly. And while he was, it was just so, this made me, I was just crying the whole time thinking, how much True Mother and True Father have gone through. But the Spirit World is really ready to help each one of us. 200% is what he said. So if we pray just desperately before we go and ask them to come with us to meet Christians or whatever, then we talk to them at the level that they are at. We talk to the people at the level they are at, and then they change their minds and then they can do things. That's what I've found since I've been listening to this and doing these things. It's been really, really heartwarming to do this. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Chris, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just keep you a simple little point this morning. And thank you, Kathy. I was going to share this little point. I feel a bit humbled after your amazing testimony. It's incredible. Look, I just realised for the first time this morning something about Mary, and that was I could never understand why our Heavenly Parent told Mary not to have any more children. I didn't see why does it matter. Jesus is there. She's got a relationship with Joseph. I couldn't understand. And this morning I realised, it's because her internal viewpoint was tainted. Zachariah came from a pure lineage and her thoughts would have remained pure. But not talking about evil, just a slow indoctrination of unprincipled spirit world coming through their relationship with Joseph into her mind and heart. And that really hampered her. So I could never understand that before. I just really realised that this morning. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Time now for us to offer our unison prayer. Just bring up the screen. There it is. Okay. Then let's pray together. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Rev Yutaka, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.
You have a good day.